So today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and how it's struggling to make that final high. As we look at the charts today, it's been a crazy day since I woke up, finding that this really weak wave E had gone parabolic. So when a weak 5-wave move goes parabolic, now that's just weird. But Bitcoin always seems to surprise me with its price action compared to any other chart I've ever looked at. So good on you, Bitcoin. However, it won't be long before Spaceman has to basically head back down to Earth and game's over. Party's over. That's it. Moving on. Next thing. What is it? Well, unfortunately, it looks like this problem with the banks is affecting all areas of the economy, including, the Dow Jones and Nasdaq. It's definitely going to send the markets into the rest of this bear market. I can't say it's just started. It's definitely just going to finish up this move, which, interestingly enough, is also an E wave, right? So one of the things I want to talk about in terms of this correction that's coming for the Dow Jones is that it's also an E wave down. So isn't it interesting how Bitcoin at the lows, if you've been paying attention to my analysis, it started off the wave E pretty, small, weak, and then it just got really massive towards the end, right? And this is like a reverse crash, right? It's a melt up, but it's crashing up, right? It's the same thing. So with the Dow Jones and markets, they're going to crash down in E wave. So the E wave in these types of corrections, they seem to always get bigger towards the downside, right? Or in general, 5-wave moves that apparently are weak. So they may start off weak, but then they surprise you. So I've learned a lot about these waves recently by doing my analysis. Like the GFC was the same thing. Started off weak, boom, it got crazy. Now, I am now partnered with Fairdesk, right? So I am trading with them. Yes, I am sponsored by Fairdesk. So they are giving me the chance to give away bonuses. I think it's like $500 UST, if you like UST. I'm going to ask you this question. What are the two patterns? What are the two patterns that a market makes, right? There's only two patterns, right? I'll tell you towards the end of the video. If you put it in the comments, I will select from the comments somebody who answers this question. That means you watch to the end of the video, and I will just send you this, free UST if you want it. You can trade on Fairdesk, and they're just like a lot of exchanges. They've got a good amount of leverage, which I like. I find it pretty fun. 125 times leverage, pretty cool. Not bad indeed. Like it. Helps me short Bitcoin and make good profits. So, as you know, I've been tracking Bitcoin closely, but soon, probably after this video or even tomorrow, I'm going to start posting updates on XLM and the other markets I usually cover, the Euro, the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq. The bond yields, yeah, we know what's happening with those, but I'm going to touch on everything. So as you know, also, I've been calling the top in gold coming soon. This means that gold will crash down to pre-World War II levels, right? Now, what would cause that? Hint. Higher interest rates, maybe. I think that higher interest rates is detrimental to gold. And the clue is not just what I hear other people say or what I read or whatever. It's also the pattern. The pattern, the long-term pattern is a zigzag down, right? And it seems that interest rates and gold share this pattern, zigzag down, except what's leading is interest rates, because, the higher the interest rates go, gold will actually tank in the process. So that's my understanding of it based on the pattern, right? Everything I talk about here on this channel is AriasWave related. Yes, I throw in my opinion, but the waves are telling me what to say. Okay, so if I happen to sound like I have an ego problem, well, it's the waves that are telling me these things. So it's almost like I'm being possessed by the markets. Now, if you are aware of how the markets work, you may even be possessed by the markets too. I think it's called crowd psychology, right? Are you hurting? Well, I try not to. That's my worst nightmare. I don't know about yours. But moving forward, I suppose this thing with the banks is just the beginning. It's a tip of an iceberg. It's what happens when you drain liquidity out of the markets, hence tighten the money supply. I think that, raising interest rates, obviously, it reduces the amount of dollars in the system. So therefore, that's a problem for markets that are propped up on those dollars, right? So it kind of makes sense that things are going to go south if they keep doing what they're doing, which they will, because they're trying to bring inflation under control, apparently. Okay. Now, I've heard some pretty smart people say that that's actually a distraction, right? But the waves tell me that it's just what's happening. So whatever, who cares what your conspiracy theories are? The waves are saying, yep, this is happening. So is human psychology something that can tell us things about people in power? Maybe, like, maybe they can tell us that, yes, people who control the money system are greedy. Well, tell me something I didn't know. I think we all can take a bit of advice from, people like Robert Kiyosaki when they say end the Fed, or George Gammon, end the Fed. Sure, end the Fed, but at the end of the day, they're just humans, and if it's not the Fed that does it, probably someone else would do it. It's part of human psychology. So I don't believe in that. The one thing I don't like about some people's advice is when they tell you to buy gold, when gold is a hedge against inflation, or people buy gold in times of uncertainty. The only problem with this is that that may not work anymore soon, right? And also, people seem to be selling gold when they tell me this. So are they trying to sell me something here? Probably. So obviously, that I teach AriasWave, right? I created AriasWave over 5 years ago, probably like 8, 9 years ago, right? And I basically slaved over the charts day and night, ignored my entire family, and just basically looked at the charts and worked. Right, that didn't work out too well. But in the end, I came up with a methodology that helps me trade the markets. So I teach this, and look, all it is a set of corrective patterns that repeats fractally, whether a large degree, small degree, doesn't matter. So whenever you see these big moves, they're like, wow, that's amazing. What the hell's going on? Oh, wow. Ooh. Whatever the hell it is your emotion is, it's all based on these two patterns, right? 5-wave move and a zigzag. Those are the only two patterns that markets make, and they all each have 3 variances, right? So I teach those. I have members. Yes, I have members. I have a secret Facebook group as well, where it's actually a bit quiet at the moment because, unfortunately, a lot of people sort of are still part of the crowd, right? They're still bullish on the space, cryptos. Well, others just probably just don't want to say much because they're still practicing RSA because it's not easy, right? So I do teach it, and I do give you free coaching sessions if you want them, right? The fact that you actually decided to help yourself learn, help yourself in the long run with your trading and learn AriasWave, to me, it deserves free coaching, right? And as you know, as per my videos, I understand the waves, right? If there's anything I understand, it's the waves. I may not understand much else about life, but I understand the waves. So always happy to answer questions. But yeah, this is the first episode of, this AriasWave content that you're seeing. I don't know whether I should call it something. I probably won't call it anything. It's just AriasWave, right? So yeah, look, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and stay tuned for more, news updates, what's happening with the waves and all that sort of thing. So hopefully that helps you feel good about your day as it does for me, and I'll talk to you soon.